Hello and welcome back to the channel and another episode in the MRS project. We are nearly complete now, as you saw in the last episode. Got the engine in the car and it started and ran. That's a pretty huge accomplishment. Now it's time to get all the rest of the parts back on the car, parts for the engine, parts for the suspension, body, etc. So let's get to it. Got some new fully adjustable bars here. It's the trailing arms, tow arms, and control arms. Plus putting these TRD rear member brace bars back on. These are new nuts for the hubs. To attach the axle to the hub. Got these coilovers that'll go back in as well. And realistically, I should probably start with those so there's something for these guys to attach to. That's just hand tight up there. I'll put some grease on here just to help. Don't know if it's necessary, but it's not going to hurt anything either. Part of the way on, but I'm just going to slide this on here. Finger tight for now until I get it suspended. New hardware. One and two. I'll also chisel this in once I've torqued it and everything else. This is all temporary now until I get everything mounted up. Some powers of persuasion here. There we go. This is gonna easily go in there. Looks like it. Sway bar time. Attach the end links first, and then attach the bushings to the frame. And by attach, I of course mean loosely attach. I did order new hardware for these. These are going to be temporary. So the key was to throw a lug nut on here to get this to the right orientation. Bottom one's in. Top one's in now. Time to torque these. If you're wondering, it's 44 foot-pounds. Five-wire tail light converter. Holder that I designed that keeps it right here. a little bit extra slack. This will come out when you go to hook up the detachable trailer. Now to mount those 2 catch cans over in the area where the battery used to be. I'm going to make use of that bracket that I added earlier and bolt these things up. Alright, now it's time to put all the various heat shields, the splash guard, this little, whatever this part is, rubber piece that goes there. We've got mostly new fasteners, little piece of tape that apparently is used for just holding down the thing for the TRD spoiler. And yeah, let's do it. For starters, let me go ahead and move some of these things and start gathering various parts from the bin. Thinking about just snapping these in, peeling this and then pressing, but I gotta get it started. Once the first couple are clicked in, you can kind of start peeling back and then pressing down as you go. That secures the adhesive to it. The clips kind of hold it in. Now to do the special masking tape over this cable. This is exactly how it was done when the TRD spoiler was originally installed. And here we go, putting the third brake light replacement piece that you get with the genuine TRD rear spoiler. It just bolts in place where the stock third brake light goes. Now that just about everything is on the deck lid, let's get it mounted back to the car on the hinges. This is a pretty awkward balancing act that involves your head, literally, but ultimately you're able to get it in there. Now to attach the hood prop strut, I need to prop up the deck lid first with this 2x4. Whoa, hey now. Now to connect the third brake light cable and snap this into the clips. And there we go. Nice and tidy. And of course make sure everything is nice and secure and routed properly. And now to put the final piece on the deck lid, this heat shield panel thing. Throw a new gasket on here. Now to get the turbo bolted onto the header and then secure the oil return line. Now to tighten this guy. And obviously you don't want to over tighten these. Time to put this guy back in here. Get a little more precise this time. Tighten this a little bit for now, just so it doesn't fall off.
positioning may change a little bit. Well, I'm pretty sure you can clean these. I'm just going to go ahead and replace it with a new one. I'll save this, try to clean it. I also have a backup new one for when I do another change if I never get around to cleaning these. These aren't cheap, so I probably will clean it. Quick comparison. Get this gasket in place. That looks like about the best. Already got the mass airflow sensor installed. And this will go on here and work as a brace so this thing doesn't just bounce around everywhere. Okay, so this goes on the vibra mount. These guys will get their clips. I'll mount this in place and then lower the car, or loosely mount it, and then basically finish up the intake piping.
Going to install this air filter and MAP sensor assembly onto that vibra mount, and then get the rest of this intake piping all secured and tightened down. And then of course I've got to connect and mount the boost control solenoid somewhere that makes sense and will be able to easily be hooked up to the wire harness.
Basically all of this, all of the intake stuff installed. I'm going to be doing the other stuff down low. So now it's time to put these other jet hot coated pipes onto the rest of the exhaust. We got a new gasket. Alright, here's the support bracket with the bolts, everything else. You can try to get this on here. The wideband O2 sensor. It's always good to have one of these so you can actually torque those to the right spec. They do have a crush washer on them. Alright, time to put this turbo blanket on. I've cut and sort of sealed up the edges here so it'll go around the wastegate actuator and not bind it up or anything. Just came with these little spring deals. Specific kind meant for Toyotas. It's already pre-diluted. So we got a little bit of bubbling going on here. This needs to hold coolant to here, this A line. You can see it's not quite doing that yet. Based on measurements from the floor, that line is right about at this bar. Time for the catback to finally go on. And put a new gasket. Also got new hardware. Third. Oh, I forgot this is the J&Z downpipe. It's absolutely terrible fitting. Terrible. It's the jig that was used to create it must have been messed up because it sits too low. It doesn't come over far enough this way. If it was actually at the right height. Like basically the two runners that go to the basically would be the header. Those are too long, and that just throws off the rest of it. This is what happens when you're an early adopter. You get screwed on parts.
I'm going to disconnect the exhaust hanger here so I can get these to line up and be able to be bolted.
So now this side hangs low by about 30 millimeters, or about 1.25 inches. I got a feeling it'll probably be fine. I'm going to put this back on. This one should line up. Maybe. Got these other exhaust hangers from Evil Energy. Not sponsored or anything, just that's the brand. Gonna swap this one out with one that's more accurate. I'm gonna put this one on a hanger. Hopefully this is not in too awkward of an angle when the bumper cover goes on. If it is, I might have to reassess. It does help to have the right tool for the job. Started with this one. There's the second one also. And there we go. Now it's actually secure on here.
Well, as you saw, new parts and new hardware make reinstallation quite a bit easier and a little less messy than I was just putting all the old stuff back on. We still got a few more things to put on, but we're almost there. Thank you for sticking around on this journey so far. We're going to be wrapping up soon. Be sure to like and subscribe. Ring the bell to get notifications when the new videos come out. And leave a comment. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.